Okay, welcome everyone to today's lecture on digital switching system. In the previous classes, in the previous discussion we discussed about the switching, how the different stages of switching are used. Okay, we discussed about the single stage switching, the multi-stage switching like two-stage and then three-stage switching networks. We also know the reason why we use multi-stage network switching network. The detailed discussion of this switching network will be discussed in the slides to come. As of now, we'll look into the next important topic from this module, which is grading. What is grading? Let us consider. Let us consider you have two groups of switches with some n number of outlets. In this case, I have two groups, group one and then group two, which are selectors, or you can also consider them as switch with 10 outlets, okay, on each group, with 10 outlets on each group. Say in a situation where the traffic is random, okay, the traffic is random, and the sequential selection is used to select the outlets of a switch. Okay, we tend to find the early outlets. We tend to find the early outlets of such a switch is more occupied than the later switch. Say, for example, let us consider this group 2 switch. Let's say you have 10 outlets. If you are using sequential selection to select or to connect some incoming call to any one of these outgoing outlets, okay, if you are employing sequential selection, what happens is that if there is a incoming call, the sequential selector or this switch will tend to connect that particular call into the first outlet or first outgoing trunk. Similarly, if there is a second call coming into the switch, okay, the switch or selector is tend to connect that call to the second outgoing trunk or second outlet. If there is a third incoming call, a third outlet will be selected to make the connection. Say for example, if there is a fourth call coming into the switch, a fourth call coming into the switch, by that time, if the first outlet is free, the selector tend to select the first outlet rather than the fourth outlet. Okay, is it clear? In a sequential selection, what happens, you tend to select, okay, the select and assign a call to a particular outlet which is, free among the all these outlets, which is comes at the earliest, say for example, in situation that I just explained, the first trunk come early than the fourth trunk. That's why the fourth call, when it arrives into the switch, it tend to, okay, instead of connecting the switch, instead of connecting that call to the fourth outlet, it's tend to connect to the first outlet. Okay, if that's the situation, if that's the sequential selection is being employed in such a switch, the early switches, for in this case the first six outlets, say, are the early outlets, and last four outlets in the group 2 are the later outlets. The first six of them are, you find, are those first six of those outlets to be busy, more busy than the latter four outlets. Okay, say if such a situation, it makes more sense to combine the latter outlets of the two groups. Say for example, I take the four outlets of group 1 and combine or common or connect to the latter four outlets of the group 2. In that way in that way we are reducing the number of outlets. Okay, as the frequency with which the traffic occurs is, high traffic occurs is very low, and also as the sequential selection is employed, the early outlets tend to be more occupied than the latter outlets. So if that's the case, latter, the outlets of a switch are taken and they are common, okay, are combined, are connected. Okay, this process of combining these latter outlets or latter output trunks of a switch or a selector, okay, is called as the grading. Okay, if you look at this diagram, okay, based on the condition that I just discussed, if you look at this diagram, the last four lines, which are called as the latter outlets of group 1 are being combined with the latter outlets of the group 2. The process of combining these latter outlets or latter, you know, trunks of a switch or a selector is called as the grading. Okay, so as I was telling, a process of combining the latter outlets of group of switches is called as the grading. The equivalent diagram of grading for these two group of switches is shown in this figure. Okay, this is called as the grading diagram. As you can see, there are two groups of outlets. Each has been numbered. Okay, there are, if you take the dashes on first row, you have how many? 10 dashes, and even in the second row you have 10 dashes, which indicates the number of outlets per switch, okay, or selector. In this case, how many groups are there? You have two groups. On each group you have 10 outlets. Similarly, the equivalent representation of this can be written using a grading diagram. In this diagram, we are going to write the dashes which is equivalent to the number of outlets per switch. Okay, the number of rows that we are writing is equal to the group of switches we have. In this case, we have two groups of switches or selectors. Each one is having how many outlets? Okay, 10 outlets. 10 outlets. Out of which, how many we are combining? We are combining the last four. The combining of the outlets of a particular group of switches is represented with a combining of two dashes, or connecting of two dashes from each group. Are you getting? This is the grading diagram. This diagram is called as grading diagram. In the examination, they are going to ask the design of the grading. Okay, the design of the grading, and also they will ask you to design a grading for a particular given parameter. In examination, they are going to ask you to design a grading for given parameters. Okay, as you can see, the same explanation has been given here. The traffic offered to two group of incoming trunk is random, and peak loads will be seldom, means rarely occur simultaneously in the two groups. Okay, as you know, so if you have two groups, peak traffic on these two groups rarely occur, which is rarely simultaneously don't occur. What is actually saying, the switches search sequentially. If you employ a sequential selection for free outlets, the latter choice outlets carry the least traffic. It is therefore desirable to connect the latter choice trunks to both group of selectors. Okay, as they carry less number of traffic, it is desirable to common the latter choice trunks of the selectors. Okay, in this arrangement, the first 6 outlets are in two separate full availability groups. Okay, in the first, if you look at this diagram, first 6 outlets of these two groups are untouched. Last 4 outlets are common to both groups and carry the traffic when there is overflow. Okay, when there is a overflow from the first 6 trunks. Okay, the last 4 trunks will carry the traffic. Okay, that's what been explained. Okay, moving on with the grading. There are 3 types of grading. Okay, we have progressive grading, we have skipped grading, and we have homogeneous grading. Okay, in examination they will be asking the design of the progressive grading, and also they will ask you to solve a given problem on the progressive grading. And the additional definition of skipped and homogeneous grading has been given in the materials that I have shared. Please go through it. I am not going to discuss what is skipped grading and homogeneous grading in this class. Okay, the progressive grading and this design, and how to solve a progressive grading problem for a given parameters what we are discussing in the class now. Okay, okay, the design of progressing grading. In this part, in this part, in this part, first things first, we need to find the number of groups of switches or selector. As you know, in the previous diagram, we had we had we had some 10 outlets on a switch or a selector. How many such we had? How many switches we had? We had two switches. Okay. In this case, the group becomes two. In this case, that group becomes two. Similarly, in a given problem, the first thing first is to find the number of groups of selectors or number of groups of switches. How to find that group? G is calculated by 2 times capital N divided by small k. Okay, where G represents the number of group of trunks or number of group of switches or selectors, which is can be found by multiplying 2 with capital N and dividing that product by k. What is N and what is k? N means the number of outlets per switch. Okay, if you look at the previous diagram, okay, how many outlets each selector or switch has? Each has 10 outlets. Each has 10 outlets. Sorry. In this case, the capital N, becomes the number of incoming trends. Please make the correction. Capital N is the number of trunks coming into the system, where K is the availability, where K is the number of outlets per switch. K is the number of outlets per switch that you have already seen, in the diagram that we had the discussion on. Okay, where capital N represents the number of trunks coming into the system. Okay, we'll see in detail, okay, how the factor of n, the value of n and k are being used in a design of a system. Capital N represents the number of trunks coming into the switch. Okay, the k is the number of outlets available on a particular switch. Okay, the step 2 is to find the number of find out the number of choices, okay, or the unknowns. Okay, in this we need to be finding the number of unknowns. Okay, as you can see in the previous diagram, okay, you have 6 singles. That means if there is a incoming signal, it has to be connected to outgoing outlet, incoming trunk which has to be connected to outgoing outlet. Okay, you have 1-to-1 connection available, okay, on 6 trunks. Okay, out of this 10 trunks, the last 4 trunks are combined. Okay, in this case, the last 4 trunks are common, they become double. Okay, they become double. Okay, if there is no commoning and outlets are left free, okay, they are considered as singles. Okay, the doubles in this case, out of 2 group, okay, 4 of the outlets, lateral outlets has been combined, which represents the doubles. Okay, that means 2 lines has been combined. If this were to be a group of 4 switches, there might be a chance that you might have combined the 4 lines, 4 groups. Okay, selecting each one of the line from out of those 4 groups. We'll see these things, how to design this grading in detail, okay, in the later slides. Well, as of now, you have 6 singles and 4 doubles. Okay, these are the unknowns that you need to be finding out, okay, in order to design the grading of a given parameter. Okay, going back, as you can see, okay, finding out the choices. The choices are how many in the given group of switches, how many singles, how many doubles, and how many commons that you are supposed to be using it to make the grading. Okay, those become the choices, or basically they what become the unknowns. Okay, and once the G has been find out, found out. Okay, you need to find the factors of G. You need to find the factors of G. Okay, based on the value of G, you might have few number of factors. Say for example, if the value of G turned out to be 4, the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and then 4 itself. Okay, so how many factors are there? 1, okay, 2 and 4 combined together. Okay, the total number of factors become 3. That's why the factors of G in this case, which is represented by Q, becomes 3. Okay, the condition while designing the uh, progressive grading is that the factors that you're choosing for G, the very first factor should always be 1, and the last factor of the G should always be G itself. As I told you, if G were to be 4, the first factor is supposed to be 1. That's why we take the first factor F1 as 1. The next factor F2 becomes 2. Okay, and the last factor, okay, last factor, it's obviously 4 itself. Okay, which is supposed to be G itself. Okay, then this is the condition that you should be making out while choosing the factors of G. And to form a simultaneous equation, a linear equation, to find the unknowns, we are going to use uh, two two equations, equation 2.4 and then 2.5. We're going to expand these two equation to get a two equation, and by subtracting these two equation we are going to find the third equation, and we perform the trial and error approach by employing the by applying the values to one of the unknown to find the other two or three unknowns. Okay, we'll see how actually we are going to make use of these two equation in the design of the sequential in the grading of the progressive grading. Okay, look at the equation 2.4, which says summation of Ri is equal to K, where K represents the availability. Okay, where Ri represents the unknowns, where Ri represents the unknowns. Okay, we'll see how to expand this one. Similarly, okay, the equation 2.5 represents Ri times G over Fi is equal to N, where N represents the the number of trunk coming into the system. Okay, so the third step is to write the simultaneous equation, and the fourth step is to find the number of doubles, singles, doubles, and quadruples, or in this case commons. This depends on, okay, how many variables are unknown that you are supposed to find out. It depends on the G value that you are getting from the calculation, and tabulate the results with respect to the successive difference. We'll see what's the successive difference mean. Okay, so let's look at a problem. Which says design a grading for connecting 20 trunks to switches having 10 outlets. Okay, a first example problem in designing a progressive grading is given over here. Here you have been asked to design grading of 20 trunks. You have 20 trunks, okay, and you have switches available with 10 outlets. Okay, what is asking that figure out a way to perform the grading on 20 trunks using some group of switches with 10 outlets available on each of those switches. Okay, you take a switch which has 10 outlets. Okay, you can have multiple of these switches and make the arrangement or grading such a way that you are supposed to connect the 20 trunks to these switches with a 10 outlets available. Okay, look at the parameters given. Okay, the number of trunks given in the problem is 20. Okay, the availability, that is the number of outlets per switch in this case given, which is small k, it is 10. From the question, the k is 10. Okay, the number of trunk is 20. The first step is to find the number of graded groups. As per the equation that we have seen, the G is given by 2 times capital N over small k. Okay, in this case 2 times capital N is 10, small k is sorry, capital N is 20, small k is 10. The result will be 4. Okay, the result will be 4. Okay, this is not the case always. You might not get the whole number as we are getting in this example. There are situations you may get some fraction number. Make sure that you round out that fraction number to the next even integer. Okay, remember, you might get a fraction while calculating g. Make sure that you round up that fraction to the next even integer. So the factors of 4 in this case are 1, 2 and 4. Okay, 1, 2 and 4. As per our condition, the first factor of the g should be 1. Okay, the second factor could be anything. If the bigger the number of factors of this g increases. In this case, as it's a small number, okay, you have only 3 factors. The first factor should always be 1. Okay, and the second factor could be anything. In this case it has become 2. The only other factor of 4, which is 4 itself, okay, is which is as per the condition of the design. The last factor of the g should always be g itself. Okay, how many factors are there? You have 3 factors. Okay, moving on. Factor number 1 is 1, factor number 2 is 2, factor number 3 is 4. The total number of factors in this case, they become 3. The total number of factors, they become 3, which is represented by with the value q. Okay, then the step 2 is to choose the unknowns. Okay, the unknowns in this case are, as I told you, given the group of trunks. Okay, given the group of trunks, how many outlets should not be combined, or should be let free as it is. Okay, and how many outlets from 2 groups must be combined, and how many outlets from all 4 of the groups must be combined, which is in this case also called as the common. Okay, and for the the choice of quadruples, okay, in this case I have taken a name as q itself. Do not confuse this q with a q. Okay, this q in this case is a unknown. Okay, you have 3 unknowns. Okay, this choice is always or directly depend on the factor that you are getting. Singles, doubles and quadruples. Okay, singles and doubles, quadruples, is being directly reflected over here. The number of choices you have are the singles, doubles and then the all commons, because okay, you taken an outlet from each of the 4 group of switches. If you combine all of them, it become a common outlet. Okay, if that's the case, they are considered the quadruples. Okay, we are going to name this variable as r1 is equal to s, r2 is equal to double, r3 is equal to q. Why we are naming using this naming convention, we'll look at the next step. As you can see from the equation 2.4, if you are to expand the equation 2.4, it will be like r1 plus r2 plus r3. Okay, well, the q that we are taking in this case is the 3, the number of factors of g. Okay, if you expand the ri, okay, in the range of 1 to 3, because q is 3, the total factors of 4 in this case is 1, 2 and 4. The total factors are 3. If you expand ri, okay, it will be like r1, r2, r3, which is equal to k, the number of availability. The first simultaneous equation in this case becomes s plus d plus q is equal to 10. Similarly, using the equation 2.5, if you are to expand, okay, the above equation 2.5, the q is in this case 3. Okay, r1 times g over f1 plus r2 times g over f2 plus r3 times g over f3. Okay, in the previous equation r1, r2, r3, we have substituted the naming of this, okay, s and d and q with a r1, r2, r3, and we are using the same unknowns as a substitution for this expanded equation. We are replacing r1 with s, r2 with d, r3 with q. Okay, these 3 becomes the unknown. Okay, similarly, you expand this equation, you will get the second linear equation, which is like 4s, 2d, and q. Okay, if you subtract equation 1 from 2, you will get 3s plus d. So far, from the expansion of the equation 2.4 and 2.5, you got two equations, and additional third equation can be found by subtracting the equation 1, okay, subtracting equation 1 from equation 2, which is in 3s plus d, 3s plus d, which is 10. Okay, now in order to find the unknowns, the procedure here in this design is to assume a value for one of the variable and find out the other two variables. Assume the value for one of the variable and find out the other two variable. Okay, if you assume value for s, you can in equation 3 you can easily find out the value for d, and you can substitute the value for s and d in any one of the equation, any one of these two equation, equation number 1 or 2, to find the last unknown. Okay, that's what you are supposed to do. Okay, so trial and error approach. If s is over to be 1, d becomes 7 and q becomes 2. Okay, and similarly if s is over to be 2, d becomes 4, t becomes 4, and then q becomes 4. If s is over to be 3, d becomes 4 and then q becomes 6. If s were to be 4, d become a negative value, and this is the stage you are supposed to talk. This is not always the case. There are some situations when you assume value for s, you might end up, or you might begin with a negative solution for other two unknown. If that's the case, you keep on assuming or increasing the value of s till you start getting the positive solutions for the unknowns. Okay, and you should stop when you again start getting the negative solution for the, okay, unknowns. Okay, are you getting this is the procedure to find the unknowns. You can use the calculators, but calculators they are going to give some random values. Okay, you cannot have a negative solution for a given unknown. The the result or the solution for these unknowns should be whole number. Unknown should be whole number. Okay, say in the given solution, in the discussion we had, in step 4 we got 3 solution, leaving the 4th solution out. Among these 3 we need to find which the best. We need to find the best. How to find the best? Okay, for that one we have one last step where we need to find the successive difference. Okay, you have 3 unknowns, right? Okay, you need to take the difference of this successive, okay, difference of these unknowns, and you should sum them up, and the sum of the values should be considered to find the best, and that sum of the successive difference should be as small as possible. If you consider the first solution, okay, first solution where we have s is equal to 1, d is equal to 7, q is equal to 2. Okay, the difference between s and d is 6. Okay, do not consider the sign. Okay, only take the difference. The difference between 1 and 7 is 6. Okay, similarly 7 and 2 is 5. Okay, the successive difference becomes 6 plus 5. Okay, you take the difference of s and d first, and then take the difference of d and q. Okay, the difference of s and d is 6 plus the difference of d and q is 2. The sum of these two becomes 11. Similarly, for the second solution, the difference of 2 and s and d is 2. Okay, 2 and 4 is there. Okay, the difference of d and q is 0. Okay, take the successive difference of these two. Okay, second solution, and sum it up, you will get 2. Similarly, the successive difference of the third solution is 3 minus 4 plus 4 minus 6. It becomes 1 plus 3, which is equal to 3. Okay, among all these differences, okay, the second successive difference is the minimum. So we are supposed to choose the second solution. There are 3 solutions. Okay, the best is the second solution as it has the minimum successive difference. For this, we will be writing the grading diagram. As I told you, you are supposed to write, okay, 4 rows. Okay, 4 rows. Okay, each rows having 10 dashes. As I told you, I have 4 groups of switches, 4 switches, each with a 10 outlet. That's why 4 rows with 10 dashes, on each row. Okay, as per our solution, okay, you have 2 singles, 4 doubles, and then 4 quadruples. 2 singles, 4 doubles, and 4 quadruples. You leave the first two row free and don't combine it, as you have singles of 2. As you have 2 singles, that means 2 lines from each group are left free, and they are not combined. Okay, similarly, the 2 lines from 2 groups of switches among 4 switches are combined as doubles. Okay, you take 2 lines, 2 outlets of a first and second switch. Okay, 2 outlets of a third and fourth switch, you combine them. Okay, how many such doubles are there? 4 such doubles are there, and you take, okay, 4 lines, last 4 lines of each group, and you combine them. You connect all of them. That's what this solution is saying. Okay, this is a grading diagram for the solution that we have got. Okay, with this I am ending this session discussion. Okay, we'll be seeing you in the next session.